What is up, guys? Welcome to Denny's. Today I wanted to go over a really easy way that you can like quadruple the gear you're farming in last Epoch. What most people say to do, obviously the best way to farm gear and to kind of get started with the end game is monoliths. You're gonna want to go for like certain blessings. You know, obviously that's a lot of people know that. I might make a video on that separately, but you're gonna want to go for certain blessings. And while you're doing that, you know, you're inside the monoliths, certain, focusing certain gear pieces. And yeah, a lot of gear can drop from monoliths, obviously. Really good way to get gear. But with the Circle of Fortune coming out, there's actually an insane way you can like I said, you can like quadruple the gear you're getting, at least the good gear you're getting with the Circle of Fortune. So it's a really, really easy tip. So if you'll notice when you get into the Circle of Fortune, there's going to be these lenses at the bottom left. Each telescope positioned in the room is going to be west, north, east, south. So it doesn't really matter which telescope you go to. So yeah, the west is going to be all the not the accessories, idols, runes, affix shards, everything like that. Armor at the top, weapons, offhands at the bottom. Then you've got the accessories at the bottom. East is weapons, accessories at the bottom. Now, what you see is these lenses here. So basically, whenever you first get the Circle of Fortune, you're going to notice that, you know, you're getting a bunch of spawns from, like here, for example, it says, you know, Soulfire Bastion, Condition, Dungeon. So there's three ways to fulfill these. You've got dungeons, arenas, monoliths, and actually there's a fourth way. It's story missions, but those aren't as common for me, I've noticed. But basically what you're going to want to do, because we're all farming monoliths, you have a way to take these lenses and actually make it so you only reroll into monoliths and obviously campaign missions as well if you get unlucky enough. But those really aren't that hard if you do get them, and it's mainly just one boss kills. But basically this is how you do it. There's this lady here at the front. Once you have enough currency, you can go to greater lenses, and these three right here. So you're looking for Lens of Depths, which is 100% reduced chance for prophecies to have dungeons, so no more dungeons will populate in your prophecies. And then 100% reduced chance for prophecies to have arena events, so no more dungeons, no more arena events. What that leaves is these three. It leaves the monolith events, campaign events, and high corruption events. High corruption events are basically monolith events. So realistically, what you're doing is making it so that you can farm only monoliths and get an insane amount of gear from just the monoliths. Now, if you're just starting out, what I recommend doing is probably just doing the dungeon one, because arena is pretty easy if you get some arena ones. So I would recommend just doing the dungeon one. But once you get rank 5, I believe it is, you're going to unlock the second one. That's when I recommend doing the arena and dungeon. So you negate arena and dungeon from each one of these. You'll notice that I have arena and dungeon negated from every single one. Because yeah, I want to basically just solely farm monoliths, and while I'm kind of doing my blessings, I'll be getting an insane amount of gear. So yeah, that is insane. Not a lot of people, I mean, obviously as you go through the Circle of Fortune, you'll realize this, but this is probably the biggest tip you can have early, while you're like getting your build together and kind of getting the gear for it at least. But yeah, I wanted to make a quick video on that. A few other things I wanted to note are going to be the lenses in general. Not a lot of people have gone through and gotten too far into this, but basically you can kind of focus gear, right? I mean, that's the whole idea of the Circle Fortune. You want to pick a piece of gear, you can not focus it, but you have a higher chance of getting it. So that's a really big plus. And the biggest thing I think you can do for this, at least when you're starting out, is go for these idols and go for the unique idols, because it drops for every class. And there's some pretty insane unique idols you can get, like Ambition's Throne. If you don't know what that is, it's really, really good. It's pretty much for every class. It just increases your overall damage by like 20%. Haven't got it yet myself, but yeah, that's kind of a more side note, basically, just kind of to get that. And yeah, definitely get the lenses, focus on kind of just doing monoliths, and you'll get insane amounts of gear, and definitely get to level 5 as quick as you can. It's probably the quickest, and then it starts kind of slowing down after level 5. It slows down quite a bit. But yeah, that's the biggest tip I can give anyone who's starting out with the Circle of Fortune. Those lenses are going to be insane. If you guys found this video helpful at all, if you guys are still around, I would definitely appreciate if you guys could leave a comment, subscribe, like. I've just started making Last Epoch videos, and I'm probably going to continue just kind of giving my opinion on the game and maybe giving some pros and or some tips and tricks and stuff like that. But yeah, give it a subscribe, give it a like, give it a comment, and this is Denny signing off. Peace out, boys.